Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name's GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome to my full Easter egg guide for MAUER TOTEN. Now, before we get into the guide, there's a few prerequisites that you need for the Easter egg. First thing you need to do is turn on power and open up Pack-a-Punch. Then you need to assemble Klaus, and if you need a guide for that, it'll be linked down below. And then you also need to upgrade Klaus so that he has a Pack-a-Punch weapon, which is the first stage of the upgrade, which will be linked down below as well. And last but not least, you need to obtain the wonder weapon, the CRBRS or Cerberus. Now, there is a free way to get this wonder weapon, and I would recommend that way first. And I'll have a link to my guide on that down below as well. So once you get all those things, then you're ready to start the actual Easter egg. All these things can be done within about 15 minutes max. It's really easy to do. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into the actual steps right now. All right, guys, so the first thing you need to do is call in Klaus and bring him to this brick wall inside of the sewer access. Now, you're going to use the controller that you get when you call in Klaus to actually pin him right in front of it. So he's going to go up to it and just absolutely destroy the brick wall and reveal a metal door and wall directly behind it. So then what you need to do is get the laser variant of the Cerberus wonder weapon from killing zombies or special zombies. You're going to pick that up and make your way back down to sewer access, and you're going to shoot directly at the door with this weapon. Eventually, it's going to make a massive hole inside of the metal door and wall, and then you're going to be able to just go in directly to the secret lab. It's not so secret anymore. So anyways, you go down in here, and as soon as you get in here, there's going to be a lockdown with force fields covering two really important things that you're going to need for the next step. All you have to do is stay in the secret lab and absolutely destroy everything that's coming at you. For the most part, it's just going to be the fire guys that run at you really fast and explode. It's really not that hard to defend, and eventually you'll end the round, and then at the end of the round or start of the next round, the force fields are going to be gone. So you go up to this machine and you shoot it with the Cerberus. It's going to reveal a end station lure. You're going to pick that up, and your teammates can as well. And then you're going to pick up these 3 canisters right here. Now, the canisters are going to need to be placed in 3 different stations around the map. So I'm going to show you all the locations. The first one is going to be directly across of the mule kick machine, and only 3 out of these 7 will spawn. So for example, in this game, it didn't spawn. It was right there in front of like the ticket area. The next one is to the left of the electronics store, which is right there. The next one, guys, is going to be located in the alley, which is right here. The next one, guys, is going to be placed at the top of the Corber rooftop right here. And the next one is going to be in the broken penthouse. So you can just use the zip line from the Corber rooftop while you're checking to just go directly over here, and it's going to be underneath the second window out of these 4 right here. The next one, guys, is going to be located in the sewer access as well. So it's literally like right next to where you destroyed that door and right next to the secret lab. So this one is going to be right here, like in front of those wooden panels right there. And last but not least, guys, the last and final one is going to be in the West Berlin street. So I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do while filling these. But other than that, those are all 7 of the locations where canisters could be. All right, guys, so then you're going to go to your canisters and place the smaller canister within. And essentially what you need to do is throw down your end station lure. 3 tempests are going to spawn, and you're going to kill all those tempests so that they get sucked up into the canister. Now, if you're playing in a co-op game, it takes 5, and if you're playing solo, it only takes 3. So eventually, once you throw down enough lures and kill enough tempests, you're going to be able to actually collect it, and you're going to escort it just like in Outbreak all the way down back to the secret lab and place it where you grabbed the original canister. So this does take some time, obviously, and you have to just protect yourself the entire time. I would recommend the person with the wonder weapon is the one that escorts it, and just bring it back down and place it, and then grab another end station lure so that you're all set for the next one. Then you make your way to the next location and do the exact same thing. Kill the 5 tempests, or 3 if you're in a solo game, and then you're going to bring it back down and place it inside. And last but not least, guys, I did want to make a note of this so you guys know, if you run out of end station lures and you have none of them, all you have to do is go directly back to the secret lab and grab another one. In my game, all 3 of us used ours and we didn't have any left, so I just went back to the lab and grabbed the end station lure, because once you run out, another one will be there and you can just grab it and once again escort it. You can jump over the railing there and bring it all the way back. So once you're done that step, guys, now you need to get Klaus to stop the train, which is probably the coolest step in the entire Easter egg. But before that, you do actually have to get the hacking helm. So what you need to do is go to spawn and shoot this like radio tower right here. You're just going to shoot it down. It's going to drop a device. Go and pick that up, the antenna. Then you're going to make your way over to the electronics store, and one out of the radios within the electronics store is going to drop a part. There's multiple in this store, so if you don't get it in these two, there's one inside like the main overall store in the corner. You can shoot that one and get that last piece. And last but not least, guys, the final piece for this is going to be right above in this box, right above the ticket place, and you can grab it there. So once you have all those, you're going to bring the hacking helm over to Klaus, and you're actually going to build it on Klaus. Make sure you don't accidentally activate him before this. So just go ahead and craft it right on Klaus, and then you're going to call in Klaus as well, which is the next step. And essentially what you're going to be bringing him over to is the train tracks. But before that, you do have to hit a switch. So as you can see, I'm going to activate him for 2,000 points. And obviously the person with the most points should be the one activating him if you're in a co-op game. Then you're going to make your way over to the switch control room, which is to the left. If you're like facing the way Mule Kick is, or right if you're facing Mule Kick. And then you're going to activate that switch in the switch control room and go to the tracks on the other side of Mule Kick right here, and essentially mark it so Klaus goes over here. Now eventually he's going to go in the motion where he's like Superman, where he's going to stop the train and he's going to put his gun away. Now what you need to do is not stand on the train tracks like I did. As you can see, I went down to 1 health, almost got ran over, but I ended up getting pushed back. If you have Jug, you won't die. And then you go on the train and you have to collect 2 different things. You have to get the bomb, and you also have to get the key card, which is right here, Rico's key card. So once you get those 2 things, guys, then what you're going to do is make your way all the way back over to the lab, and you're going to add that bomb to the other 3 canisters that were already filled up from the Tempest. So that's literally like probably the easiest part of the entire Easter egg right there. Like all up to this part is probably the easiest. I think the next step is probably pretty difficult for a lot of people, just because you get damaged the entire time while you're doing it. So as you can see, I added the bomb right there, and now we are on to the next step, which is also pretty fun. I enjoy this Easter egg a lot. All right, guys, so next you're going to make your way to the safe house, and there's a computer next to where you originally crafted Klaus, where you insert the key card that you got from the train and browse through the files. There's multiple different files you have to browse through, and each of them is going to give you an intel, and all you have to do is go through it. It takes like 15 seconds or so, and then eventually you'll be able to activate the Disruptor's satellite. So once you do this, it's exactly like Outbreak, where you have that massive laser from space that shines down and originally spawns the HVTs. You basically do the exact same thing here on MAUER TOTEN, where you're going to get 3 mimics and 1 megaton. All you have to do is kill all those enemies, especially the megaton, because he's going to drop uranium rocks that you need to actually get and craft. So as you can see, I'm going to grab one of the rocks, and I'm going to be damaged the entire time while I'm holding this. So there is currently a glitch, but it should be fixed, where you can't actually build it, so you just have to drop it and repick it back up. But as you can see, I'm over here in the West Berlin Street, and I'm going to craft the uranium device here. Now my friend went to the East Berlin Street and he crafted his. So there's 2 of them. If you're in a solo game, just do them both at the same time. And I'm going to go to the top of the Kerber building, and I'm going to place mine on the zip line, and my friend is going to go up through the grocery store to the destroyed penthouse on the other side of the zip line. So essentially, if you're playing in a solo game, you have to place them on each side of the zip line, and you can't ride the zip line if you place it on it. So just keep that in mind. You just have to go a different way. But as you can see here, I'm going to place it down so I can regen all my health back, because I did not want to die. So you can place it down to regen your health, and I would highly recommend doing that. If you get hit by a couple zombies and you're in trouble, just do that and then pick it back up and place it. So as you can see, my friend, like I said, went up through the grocery store and placed it at the destroyed penthouse side of the zip line, and I am going to pick up my device and place it down. Now what's going to happen is, as soon as you place it, they both go across and slam into each other and drop a cleansed rock and you're going to take that cleanse rock and bring it all the way down to the secret lab once you pick it up. Now keep in mind, while you're doing this, there's going to be panzers and manglers spawning the entire time, and a lot of zombies, of course, so just be careful while you do this. So as you can see, I picked up the rock and I'm going to run all the way back down to the secret lab. For some reason, when I was playing this game, I went like the slowest way possible, but anyways, you place it here on this bomb next to all of the canisters that you filled up earlier, and then you're going to once again repeat the exact same step where you go back to the computer to activate the disruptor satellite. Now you can activate it in the military tent on the east and west Berlin Street as well. You don't actually have to come down here to the safe house, but I was not aware of that originally, so I just activated it down there. It doesn't matter, all three of them you can activate it. So last but not least, guys, we're going to go to the destroyed penthouse where the last HVT spawns with the disruptor laser, and you're going to activate and kill all the panzers and the mimics. Once again, it's the exact same amount, 3 mimics, 1 megaton. Just go ahead and kill them all as fast as you can, and then once again pick up the rock, and you're going to go back to the East Street 10 and the West Street 10, or you can build it in either of them the same time. So as you can see there, I was actually not able to build the uranium device, so I ended up having to have my friend build it. So he was the one that picked it up, and they built it, and then they placed it on either side. Like I said originally, it crashes down, and here I can get the cleansed rock. I'm going to pick it up and once again make my way all the way down to this secret lab. Now, what I ended up doing in this game was I just placed the rock next to the canister because my friends were not set up for the boss fight. So I just placed it down there so it was ready. And once we were ready for the boss fight, all we had to do was pick it up and actually place it in there. So I would highly recommend getting completely set up, get armor, get perks, get wonder weapons. If your friend can get the ray gun, the regular ray gun, or the wonder weapon, that is highly, highly advised. And just have really good, strong weapons that are pack punched at least twice. All right, guys, so at this point in the game, we progressed some rounds. We were ready to go. So I pick up the cleansed rock, placed it in the device, and then it started the boss fight. Valentina comes out of the orb, and she says, you shouldn't have done this, and we've been coming the whole time, yada, yada, yada. So at this point in the game, she comes out of the portal, and she is actually the final boss of the Easter egg. So we're going to be going to different locations, but the first location is here. So as you can see, she's going to be standing on this rock, and eventually, as soon as like her damage thing pops up, you have to destroy the force field that she has around her, and then you can start damaging her. Now, I'd highly recommend that everyone in your game runs Ring of Fire because it will protect you against those crystal spikes that are getting shot out by her. And also you can obviously deal more damage if you're inside of the ring. So it's just a really, really easy way to deal a ton of damage. But eventually, once you deal enough damage, she'll be immune, and she's going to go to a different location on the map. So you have to go where she ends up moving to. So the next location, you have to go through the grocery store and up the zip line, and you're going to go inside of the destroyed penthouse where she goes next. So once again, you're going to do this exact same thing. Now, right here, she's going to do a wipe attack where you see a bunch of swirls going around your screen. And at that point, this wipe attack can deal you a ton of damage where you're down to literally 1 health if it hits you, and you lose all your shield. So make sure that you get behind a wall. Later on, I stand behind literally a phone booth and I'm fine. So as long as you're behind cover facing her, you should be fine. Once again, use Ring of Fire, and as you can see here, we dealt enough damage to where she was immune, so she couldn't take any more damage. So she ends up teleporting to a different part of the map, which is going to be the West Berlin Street. So once again, all you want to do, guys, is deal as much damage as you can, knock off her force field around her, and then deal damage. Death machines are a very, very useful tool for this. And also having monkeys is huge. If you have mule kick and you buy 1 monkey, you get 2 of them, and those are going to help you out so much because all the zombies are going to be attracted to those on a other side, and you can just focus fire on Valentina the entire time. Also, killing small bosses like manglers and panzers that spawn are always going to drop ammo, so make sure that you grab that. And as you can see here, she is invulnerable again because we finished her off here. And at this point, you can take the zip line and actually buy perks. As you can see, I lost a couple perks because I ended up going down, and so did my friends. So at this point, you definitely want to buy perks and buy armor if you can as well before you go to the next place, which is the East Berlin streets. Now, as you can see here, she's doing a wipe attack, and I went behind the phone booth and didn't take any damage as where all my other friends did. So just make sure you guys are behind when she's doing that wipe attack and deal as much damage to her as possible, and you guys should be fine. This really is kind of just a bullet sponge. Like, that's it. Of course, she has the wipe attack and she shoots the crystals at you and stuff, but if you're moving, you should be perfectly fine. So as you can see here, we dealt enough damage to her where she was teleporting once again. So I went to go buy armor over here to get ready for the last and final step. Make sure that you guys have armor for the last part. So as you can see, I'm going to buy it, and we're going to go back down to the secret lab to finish her off. So as you can see here, my friend popped a ring of fire, and we literally just went for it. We killed Valentina so fast with death machines and wonder weapons, where we were all on 1 health and we just kept shooting, didn't care, and she ended up going down and dying. So that is definitely like one of the coolest Easter egg boss fights that we've had in zombies. It's really cool. Eventually a cutscene is going to play, and then you have to escort Klaus into the portal that Valentina came out of. So all you have to do is kill all the enemies that are coming. There's a lot of zombies, manglers, mimics, things like that, and just go ahead and kill all those zombies while Klaus walks into the portal. And then at that point, once the screen turns white, you've completed the Easter egg on MAUER der Toten. So anyways, guys, that is the full Easter egg guide. If this video did help you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.